Hi guys, hi Maria. Oh, you're quick on. We are here again and we are asking that question that so many people ask. Is he or she cheating? And how we find corroboration within our systems. Hi Garth, hello Jane, hi Dan, hi Sarah, hi Gina. I can't tell you the number of spreads I have been sent a photo of and asked, does this show that my partner is cheating? Usually because Fox is in the mix, Snake is in the mix, or, in Kipper, dishonesty, for example. But for me, as a professional reader, I always say don't condemn a relationship. It's really quick. I mean, some readers are really quick to jump in with a he's not being honest or she's not being honest interpretation. And a lot of corroboration is needed. A lot of cards are needed to confirm that. Just like I say when I speak about death within the cards, there are so many cards and placements that are needed to actually corroborate those difficult reads. A breakup is exactly the same. If you see scythe, it doesn't necessarily mean that a relationship is breaking down. If you see scythe heart, it doesn't necessarily mean that a relationship is breaking down or breaking up. A lot more cards and placements are needed to actually confirm that to your querent. You can actually see very easily. I had a read a couple of weeks ago where the querent was obviously walking out of her relationship. And that's because a lot of cards corroborated that. And I actually contacted her before I laid the cards. It was a written read. And I said, it's just a heads up. It's showing that you're not happy in your relationship right now, and it's a difficult read. Do you want me to continue? Because I thought before I actually continue and condemn this relationship, which she'd actually already done, was just looking for the confirmation for, not everybody is in that space to hear that kind of news. So what we're going to do today is I've laid out a GT with Lenormand. I will do a GT with Kipper as well. And we're just going to talk about what cards are needed for that full visual of somebody getting up and leaving, or of somebody actually showing that they are cheating in the cards. Another story from a read was one where I was reading with Kipper, and Rich Girl was in the mix. And, a lot of readers would have jumped in with oh, well, he's found someone new and they are heading off on their merry ways, when actually it showed a threesome, and a threesome on which all three parties were actually happy with the situation. So you really have to know when it is a difficult read, acknowledge it as that, and also have that corroboration, that substantiation from all those many cards needed to confirm it. So I'll turn the camera overhead on. And as you see, I have laid out a GT. I actually didn't set any intention for this GT, but it's nice that Lenormand laid me out something that I could speak to you about anyway, because obviously we have a male character here with Fox beneath him, where a lot of people would say he's doing something wrong. He's got Fox beneath him. He's definitely behaving in a dodgy manner. They would also see, ooh, Snake is close. This looks like betrayal as well, especially next to Heart and in the House of Heart. So one of them must be cheating, mustn't they? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, because you have these two sat very close together. They do share tree between them, which shows a drain on both of them. So the relationship in the time ahead does show a quite draining relationship. But does it show one of cheating? There's doubts, obviously, in her head with mice above her. There's a certain amount of grief involved in the relationship. But look, Lily's is over, and Lily speaks of virtue. So how can you have lilies in a what we call an auspicious placement if there is screwing around in the mix? You know, you need to take into account every single card and confirm that we are indeed looking at somebody who is heading off or looking for fun in other areas. So the fox beneath him is also sat in his own house. And, you know, if you look at this with her and the cards, her doubts and this pain and the drain within the relationship, you know, he could just be feeling that this relationship isn't the right place for him right now. It doesn't mean he's cheating. He's got difficult decisions behind his back that he's probably not wanting to face. She's sat in the house of decisions of 22, making difficult decisions. He doesn't want to look at them. You know, so there's no corroboration within this spread for any kind of third party in the mix. If you think about what your third party cards are, you're looking at cards such as Mountain, who shows an enemy. Bear shows an enemy. They aren't within this mix of cards around them focusing on the relationship. And again, Lily's is at the top. So what would we really want to see? Firstly, if you are reading directionally, you would usually see your cards sitting back to back to show that the relationship isn't in a perfect scenario. So you'd ideally want them to be sat back to back to start with. If you don't read with a directional deck, then you take your querent as the first card and their partner is the second card, and she would be looking directly at him because you read left to right. So if the partner card falls first instead of the querent card, then that's when there's a little bit of discord within the relationship. So we'll keep fox there just for the sake of having a fox, because we need some dishonesty in the mix. Let me just find the fox card in this deck. Oh, I put them in order. I forgot I put them in order. So we have a fox card. Really, we need first and foremost lilies to show some kind of cheating. And lilies will fall in an inauspicious placement, showing there is no virtue to this person. So if we go to 30, our lilies card, and who should we have cheating? Do we want man? Do we want woman? If we put it above them, it shows there is no cheating. If we put it below them, then they are looking after number one and satisfying themselves with an unvirtuous act. So you've got two people in discord. You've got wrongness beneath him. You've got Lily beneath her, showing some kind of naughty naughty needs or naughty requirements, whatever you want to call it. And then you need an enemy in the mix. And what better place for an enemy than between the two partners? And that already changes the GT to walk down the lines of something's not right here in this relationship. We have man and woman sharing an enemy between them. She's looking after number one, being unvirtuous with the lily. He's wrongdoing with fox beneath him. So let's have another one in the mix. And we said that she's got Lily beneath her. What about snake above? She's thinking of betrayal and acting without virtue. There's an enemy in the mix. He feels something is wrong. He has fox in his house and he has fox beneath him. So what else, can you think of any other cards that you would like to see in the mix to show that cheating? What would corroborate that in a relationship? Another thing while you're thinking about that, on the placement of people, if this is the troublesome partner, the partner that is cheating, I would expect them to fall further apart and negatively aspected to one another. In this position, we don't have a card beneath. We'll put fox to the side. So that draws them apart again. Now she's in her own little cluster there. So Vicky says mice above man, and crossroads shows options. Crossroads will show difficult decisions. So yes, there will be options, but they will be difficult ones to make. I would want to see, if she's the one doing the wrongdoing, I would want to see a certain amount of pain around him. I would expect the partner to experience pain from that situation. I would also, if I wanted to see the difficult decisions that Vicky spoke of, I would have crossroads near her, but I would have clouds nearby as well. It's that, what am I doing? Which way am I going here? And clouds rumbles in with that trouble for the whole situation. You'd want things like anchor, far away, fish, far away, key, far away. They're way too positive cards. Moon is one that shows that she respects the partner. Would you expect it to be over her, showing that respect? I would expect no respect to be below her and far away. Sun, we don't want near them. Letter is neutral. Is he going to find out about this cheating partner? Horrible discoveries with the book nearby. Ring would need to be negatively aspected in the relationship. And remember, we're reading left to right. So I would expect ring to be far from her, negatively aspected. I would expect heart probably to show near the partner who isn't being the dodgy one. Maybe some pain with regards emotions. Mice we will put in there shortly. Playing around, our garden card. I would definitely expect that to be in the mix. Tower, I would expect to be far, far away, because Tower is the longevity card and the longevity of a relationship. I would expect that in the line of fate, and the line of fate shows that which is out with the control of the querent. They can't control that long-term relationship, nor can they control that moon within the relationship. Dog, poor dog. If he's the one that's not cheating, he can't control this loyalty here. It will be closer to him than to her, showing that he is the injured party, the victim of it, if you like. Change. I would expect that near the cheating partner. Direction. Far away. In fact, I might even put it down here in the line of fate. Bear shows an enemy in the mix. I would expect it to cluster around with betrayal and the other enemy card. Child, a very neutral card, but if she's starting something up or betraying him with someone else, I would expect a new person in the mix. Hard work of birds, we'll put that to the side for a second. Whip. Will they have arguments about this situation? I would say she's acting discordiously because we have the non-virtue of Lily beneath her, plus that discord right next to it, showing that this discord is unvirtuous. Her behavior is unvirtuous. The side, I would expect around here, hurting the ring, hurting the heart, causing the pain, hurting that end game of the anchor up there. Bouquet will pop down here. Coffin. Will he or she end it? Depends really. Is he going to find out the information and end it himself? Or is she deciding on that coffin and finding it really difficult to actually choose her allegiance? Tree would be near here. House would be far away. Obviously affected by everything. In fact, if they've got a family, I would expect the double whammy of those two being hit by the scythe. And I would expect ship to be influencing her in some way. So I would put it above her head, thinking of that betrayal and leaving. And then we have the cards that could actually go anywhere. We'll have them talking and hearing the news of this betrayal. Clover up there, mice around there because she doesn't know if she's leaving yet. It's hard work. And then offer of a new person. So if you see that, you see how I've actually worked them in. I would need certain cards to confirm a betrayal. I would need Snake in the mix. I would need the Lily beneath. I would need Mountain in the mix. I don't necessarily need Crossroads and Coffin. They're just showing more aspects of that. Should I stay or should I go? That she has. The discord of Whip, I would absolutely expect nearby the person that is cheating. The cards I would expect far away. These cards at the bottom and the first four cards that I put at the top. But I would also expect to see pain around the partner. Because if it's all happy days and sunny, etc., it wouldn't lead to a confirmation of betrayal. Yes, she could be betraying him and he never finds out, for example. But there will always be an element of pain around if you are to give a relationship crash like you would be doing if you got these cards. So does anybody have any questions on that? I'm just blocking a couple of users on YouTube. Let me put me back on. So as you saw from that, that's a lot of cards needed for one thing. And I think it should be that for every difficult situation in life, because we don't want to go down the doom and gloom scenarios every time that we're reading for somebody, just because there's snake in the mix, or just because there's fox in the mix. You know, we can't suddenly corroborate a leaving, for example, if there's not ship in the mix, or the stork, the change being shown. And again, always look at the partner card, because the partner card will be in a difficult position. They will be sometimes seen between you know, a blockage with mountain nearby, so that, or grief of the cross nearby. They'll always suffer some kind of pain in the mix if there is a cheating partner, or if there's death, for example, or illness. Somebody tagged me in on one saying about an illness, and whether their partner was going to die, for example. And but in the spread itself, it showed her card actually being surrounded by lovely stuff. And you wouldn't expect, for example, if anything happened to me, Jane wouldn't be jumping around dancing on roses, for example. So you have to see both sides of the partners to make sure there is a double whammy of difficulties. I'll have a look at these questions. Hi, Toni, could you show the fox above, below, to the left or right of person? How can you tell if a person's thinking is something wrong, or if they're the one who is wrong? Okay, I will pop the overhead on. Okay. I will use the Polished Sunset because it's directional, and a directional read will lead you to the quickest and easiest synopsis of Fox. It is going to look messy under here. I am sorry. Come on. Off you come. So let's have a look at the positioning of Fox and who is in the wrong. Come on. There you go. Wow, could I have made that any messier, do you think? There we go. Okay, excuse the mess. Okay, so you have your querent card. I'll do it with the man in a second, and she's facing left. If Fox is above her, Fox is influencing down. This means that there is something influencing her that is wrong. Could be thoughts, for example. It could be, if mountain's up here, could be an external influence, a third party influencing her in a negative aspect, negative way. If it's behind her back, she is motivated by Fox. She is actually trying to take on the aspects of Fox a little bit in order to move forward. When it's beneath her, she's either behaving foxy, or she is feeling like something is wrong. My gut feeling says something is wrong. If it's ahead of her and she's looking directly into it, she is the wrongness. She is being wrong. Similarly, if he's looking in the opposite direction, he's the wrongness there. He's being influenced by something that's wrong. He's motivated by something that's wrong. And beneath, he's feeling or behaving wrong. When it's in a bum position, which is the bottom corner, it actually shows the bum position is the problem zone. So it shows that he has a problem with something that is wrong. Let's have a look at snake now. Betrayal is influencing down on him. Where is dog? If he had dog and snake above and him beneath, for example, a friendship is betraying him. He's being influenced by probably a bad influence within a friendship. He is feeling betrayed with it beneath him. He can also be acting in a manner that betrays. He's motivated by that betrayal. He could be ignoring it behind him. And ahead of him, he is the betrayal. The snake comes straight out in front of him. He is betraying. And similarly for the woman in that. So let's have a look. Houses and other techniques can help us to come to a conclusion. Absolutely. I always use houses. That's why I mentioned that woman was sat in the house of crossroads before. And also that fox was in man and man was above fox. You corroborate backwards and forward. The interesting thing on the last one was that heart was sat here. Come on. Where's Snake now? There. Snake was in the house of hearts and had heart right next to it. So that was interesting in the last one. It doesn't mean, again, that there is cheating without all the other corroboration, but it certainly makes you make a mental note of what is going wrong in that relationship. So let's have a look with the Kipper cards. I will lay a Kipper card spread. If I can find my deck, please be a full deck. So for you, if the fox looks at the querent or not, it doesn't matter. Depends if you're using Game of Hope techniques. In the Game of Hope, the direction the fox looks at is the thing that is doing the wrongness. So if you're using Game of Hope techniques, then absolutely you use that. Otherwise, you use its position within a spread. So let's do a Kipper card spread and see if we can get some idea on cheating, etc. So we have marriage there and we have dishonesty come out. So what you want to do while you're laying is actually look at every card, where it falls, see if the querent card theft's there under dishonesty, and good outcomes in the mix with those three. Thank you. And here's our interest piece all the time. Our rich girl, our rich gent is also an interest piece when it comes to third parties in a relationship. There's the fatality card for ending a relationship. MC2, short illness in the mix with dishonesty is always a sure sign that something's not right within the relationship. And we have our rich gent, our other interesting person when we're reading. Ooh, look at that, MC1 exiting the spread. Now, when you see an exit, it's hard to see the ninth column. Let me move along a little bit. Budget along. Would help if I looked at the camera while I was laying. There you go, it's better in now. So when a partner is leaving the spread, it is a sure sign that something is not quite in the right in the relationship. They are exiting the life of your querent. If your querent is MC2, they are looking into the spread, so you would read right to left. And the partner card is already not of interest within the first month of the spread. This would tell me that this is either somebody who doesn't have a partner, or that they have somebody who they have only just left and haven't quite gotten over yet with these two cards above. It doesn't show any cheating to me. It just shows that they probably had it sat in the house of long way. Hold great water. It's probably just the fact that they had somebody maybe overseas that they were truly enamored with Hold Great Water. But that it hasn't worked out, and it's already, as they go into their future time scale, it's already a done deal. So what do we need to see some kind of thing going wrong within a relationship? Well, we definitely need to see them sitting back to back. So I'll put him up at this one just so we can see some cards beneath. And we have her there. So the closer to the edge, the more likely is that this relationship is on its way out. If we want to see cheating, then who should we have? The man cheating this time. Look, he's got theft beneath him. He says, I'm on my way out. I'm not having any more of this. And I've got a girl on my mind. I've got somebody else that I am interested in. And we definitely want to see Journey. Where's Journey? Leading him out. So maybe he's in that way. We want to see him leading out, which is, court official is a decent card to have there. Even with Great Fortune above her head is like, ooh, she's fated. She is the one. And we want this long-term relationship to be seen ending with those. What we can also see, to take Convene out of the mix, High Honours is similar to the Lily card in the Lenormand deck. He's self-serving with High Honours beneath him. That means he's looking after number one. He's looking at somebody else. And he's exiting that spread. So what do we expect to see around her? We expect to see unpleasant surprises with the Prison card. Because, boy, is it an unpleasant surprise if you find that your partner has been cheating or is leaving. We want sad news in the mix between them. We want a whole heap of sadness in the mix. We need this near here, so we have an ending. What else? We want that to be ended. We want the long way. You can either have good outcome down here or the long way up there. His thoughts could be on her if that's in the mix. So we could actually have these. He's thinking about girlfriends. And then we have a whole cluster of marriage needs to be transformed down here. Marriage needs to be hit by the fatality. Put him up there. And we have then a way forward for her. And if you see, she's walking straight back into him as an ex. So you could suggest there's still communication between the two of them. She's hoping for more with expectation beneath. There's no intimacy there. She stays in the family home, maybe. Let's have that above her showing down the stop. But as you see, you've got one partner with difficult cards around, showing them leaving, showing them looking after number one, showing the relationship ending, the love and the long-term relationship is ending. It's sad news. It's illness, that bringing down of her. Horrible, horrible stress in the situation. Uncomfortable, unpleasant information coming to light with prison and her trying to move on without him. And that's your Kipper card, cheating spouse. Oh, it's 36 already. Wow. Sorry, I get very, very carried away when it comes to reading GTs. So you lose me for a little while. If anybody has any questions on that, please put them in the comments. The Gypsy cards are similar. Gypsy cards have some amazing cards. If you think about the placements we spoke of there, you then add anger in the mix, merriment in a difficult position next to the two lovers and sweethearts, thief, the relationship is being lost, end of the relationship with death, a third party with jealousy. I mean, Gypsy cards is actually amazing for showing that third party influence. We have exes in the mix, lying with falseness, loss, total loss of the relationship. You'd want sadness to be around the person, the victim, the person who has been hit with it. But then you've got the widower is another ex. Malady is same as short illness in there. But you have the enemy card, which you would expect in the mix to show a third party messing around. And in the corner of the person who's suffering because of it, you'd see misfortune, because it's just that whole bomb going off at once. As I said before, always check your partner card as well to make sure they've got those difficult feelings or pain or grief or misfortune of the Gypsy cards nearby, so that you can actually see that suffering occurring whilst the cheating or the horrible information coming to light does. If you don't have any questions, I will get off now. We have the lovely Jane in 20 minutes. She will be creating sigils for you. I love the bluntness of Gypsy too, Jane. But she will also be running through the sigils and what amazing things each sigil can do in a love, romance, relationships, etc. direction. And then you have Maria talking about the real difficulties, like I did here, the breakups, etc., that you will see in the tarot cards. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have a special 40% off everything at the World Divination Association. Go to the website and use the coupon LOVE. I'll see you on the next one.